For millions of years, Earth was ruled by creatures we can only imagine today. Some were enormous, some terrifying, and others strangely beautiful. They disappeared long before humans walked the planet. But what if one forgotten world was never truly gone? Deep beneath a remote mountain range, a team of paleontologists discovered something impossible. Dr. Elena Carter had spent 15 years searching for evidence of prehistoric life. One morning, her team found a narrow cave hidden behind a collapsed wall of stone. Inside were enormous footprints pressed into ancient rock. The footprints were fresh. Elena stared at them in disbelief. "This layer is millions of years old," she whispered. "Nothing should be walking here." The team followed the tracks deeper into the mountain. The tunnels suddenly opened into a gigantic underground valley. Strange plants covered the ground, glowing softly beneath a misty blue sky. Then they heard a roar. The sound shook the valley. Everyone froze. From behind the trees emerged a creature unlike anything in any fossil record. It stood higher than a building, with massive horns, thick armored skin, and eyes that reflected the pale light. The scientists ran. But the creature did not attack. Instead, it slowly turned toward them and disappeared into the forest. Elena realized they had discovered a hidden ecosystem, a lost fragment of prehistoric Earth somehow preserved beneath the mountains. They moved carefully through the valley, discovering creatures believed to have vanished millions of years ago. Giant reptiles hunted beside ancient mammals. Enormous insects crawled across glowing plants. Strange birds with enormous wings circled above the cliffs. But something was wrong. The animals were behaving strangely. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A deep cracking sound echoed through the valley. The team looked toward the mountainside and saw a huge fracture spreading across the rock. Their entrance was collapsing. They were trapped. As they searched for another way out, Elena noticed something terrifying. The giant creatures were all moving toward the same part of the valley. Following them, the team discovered a massive black cavern. Inside was an enormous nest, and beside it lay hundreds of eggs. Elena's heart stopped. The creatures weren't simply surviving, they were reproducing. Millions of years of forgotten evolution had continued in secret. Then, one egg moved. A crack appeared across its surface. The team stood frozen as something inside pushed against the shell. "We have to leave," Elena whispered. A second egg cracked, then a third. Suddenly, the entire cavern began to shake. The mother creature outside released a deafening roar. The team sprinted toward the collapsing tunnel. Behind them came hundreds of tiny prehistoric creatures, followed by the thunderous footsteps of their enormous parents. Elena reached the entrance just as the final rocks began falling. One scientist became trapped beneath a fallen stone. Elena turned back. Everyone shouted for her to run, but she refused to leave him. Using all their strength, the team lifted the stone and pulled him free. They escaped moments before the tunnel collapsed completely. From the other side, they heard one final roar beneath the mountain. Silence followed. The discovery was never publicly revealed. The scientists feared that humans would destroy the hidden world, capture the creatures, or turn them into weapons. Years later, Elena returned to the mountain alone. The entrance was gone. But beside the rocks, she found something that made her blood run cold. A gigantic, three-toed footprint. It was pointing away from the mountain, toward the human world.
Elena looked at the distant city lights.
For the first time, she wondered whether the forgotten creatures had truly been trapped underground, or whether they had finally found a way out. Nature can hide its greatest secrets for millions of years, but human curiosity must always be balanced with responsibility. Not everything we discover is ours to control. Sometimes protecting a mysterious world means having the courage to leave it untouched.